Hi everybody, this is Scotty with Sketchy's Garage, and today we're with Joe and we're applying epoxy primer. Tell us about epoxy primer, Joe.
Epoxy, I always like to put it down over bare metal and everything. It gives you a barrier. And then put at least 3 coats of regular primer over top of it.
Okay. Do you like to interchange your colors? Do you like to put a different color epoxy primer than your...
Yes, sir.
Why do you want to do that?
Well, that way when you get to blocking and sanding this thing out, you'll go through a gray and then you'll hit a black and you know you went too far, not to go any further.
That way you don't bust through your epoxy primer to your bare metal, right?
Then we ain't got bare metal showing again. Yes, sir.
It sounds like a pretty good plan. You want to go ahead and... what's the most important thing about epoxy primer whenever you're mixing it?
When you're mixing it, at least wait 15, 20 minutes. Some of them take 30 minutes before you can apply it, because if you don't and apply it before, it ain't going to work the way it's supposed to work.
That's a good piece of information. Let's take a look at what we're going to be priming today. Today we're working on the Dirty Dart. We put a quarter panel on it a few weeks ago. Got the body work pretty much well wrapped up. Anytime you do body work on a car like this, especially putting quarter panels and stuff like that on it, you always want to make sure you check your taillight extensions, or if it's a front fender, a headlight extension. Make sure they fit good, because if they don't, it'll look terrible. You'll have it painted dead on the money. Epoxy primer can also be used as a sealer on your last coat if you want. You usually reduce it by 10%. The epoxy itself is usually pretty thick, so it doesn't lay down the best. But like I say, it's just a seal coat for right now, and we'll apply 3 coats of fill primer on top of it. Yep, that's the most important thing. Get your metal good and sealed. Most 2K primers don't adhere to bare metal very well. A lot of them say that they do, but they really don't. So you want to make sure you either have an etching primer down, or I prefer epoxy. Etching primers, they can get you in trouble sometimes with certain paints.
Don't let them fool you at the paint store neither. Don't let them fool you at the paint store neither, because you don't have to buy that reducer. You can use a little lacquer thinner and epoxy. Epoxy is very pliable like a thinner or urethane grade reducer.
That's a tech tip. Let's take a look at this thing with it wet, see how she's looking. She don't look bad at all. Looking pretty straight.
Look pretty good, buddy?
Yes, sir. I think a couple rounds of blocking and we'll be all right. All right, guys, we're going to let this flash off, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to put on fill primer.
Scotty said, Joe, I wish you'd hurry up and prime this motherfucker, because I'd like to get busy.